What's up YouTube, this is Cliff.
And Pete from the Sundae Drive.
And today we're going to show you how to change your oil and filter on both your second and third generation Silverado.
The first thing you're going to need to do is pick up some oil. So what I have here is some Rotella T6 synthetic 5-weight 40. Now, if you look at the user's manual for your truck, in this case a 2004 Silverado with the 4.8 liter V8, it's going to say 5-weight 30. I just use Rotella in all my vehicles. It's consistent, except for the Corvette. Someday I will. It's just easy for me to have a stock of 5-weight 40 around. Also, the oil filter that you're going to be using, if you're using Mobil 1, will be an M1 107A. Once you've decided on which oil and oil filter to get, go ahead and pick up 6 quarts of the oil. To remove the oil drain plug, use a 15mm socket. It shouldn't be too tight because this should not ever be over torqued. There's a steel bolt in an aluminum case. In case you're wondering where this is in relation to the car, look under this main subframe near the front of the truck, right before the transmission bell housing. The filter is on the driver's side of the motor, right up here. Once the oil has finished draining, go ahead and reinsert your bolt back into the oil pan. Once you've gotten this bolt hand tight, go ahead and torque it up to spec. And now we're going to move on to the oil filter. Go ahead and grab an oil filter wrench and start to loosen the filter. Align the oil catch can under the filter and start to let it... Oh no. It is very hot. This is lava hot. When cleaning your hand, make sure you don't put your hand right back under the stream of oil falling. So grab your new oil filter, and since it's oriented like so, you can fill half of the oil filter with oil and then lubricate the O-ring. This way there's already some oil in the filter when you start the truck, so it won't run dry for any amount of time. And screw the new one on. Once the oil filter grabs, they'll do another half a turn. So I got about 3/4 of the turn with my hand. Let's go ahead and give it extra quarter turn with the wrench. All right, oil filter is on. Now let's fill this motor up. Go ahead and find your oil filter cap. Pop in your funnel and add away. So you're going to add 6 quarts of oil to this engine, and then you're going to check the oil level. But before you do that, you're going to want to take it off the ramps because you're going to want the truck sitting level. Also, don't forget about this tiny amount of oil that you added to the filter. That should be a part of your 6 quarts. After taking your truck off of the ramps so that the truck is level, you want to go ahead and check the oil dipstick to see what your oil level is at. So typically after you run the vehicle, it's a good idea to wipe the oil dipstick down first and then reinsert it. Also, you want to let the vehicle sit for a little bit after having started the engine so that all the oil has a chance to accumulate in the oil pan. So go ahead and put it back in and pull it back out and check your oil levels. Now on this particular oil dipstick, there's 5 marks ranging from low to high and anything in between. Now if you find that you're at the lowest mark on the dipstick, adding about a quart should bring you up to the highest mark. And ideally you want to be somewhere in between. Now as you can see, we're at the top of the 5th circle, so we do not need to add any more oil.
Unlike Pete, I use the correct weight for my motor. This is a 2014 with a 5.3 liter Eco Tec, so this is the 3rd gen Silverado. It takes 0W 20 weight oil. I happen to use AMS oil. The filter that we're going to be using is the M1 212A. This is the Mobil 1 filter. We'll also have the other filters up right here. And my truck takes 8.5 quarts. My Silverado has the filter and drain plug in very similar locations. This is right behind the cross member. Instead of being at the back though, it is on the passenger side, and the filter is right next to that. This is also a 15mm. Always a good idea to have some cardboard down because this does tend to be messy. When that finishes draining, I'm going to start loosening up the filter. Go ahead and reinstall your drain plug and torque that down to spec. With most of the oil drained out, go ahead and remove your filter. It can be pretty hot, so be careful.
I'm not taking you to the hospital. Okay.
And because this filter is installed vertically, we can go ahead and fill it up partway with oil and lubricate the seal. Go ahead and remove your fill plug. I also have a catch can installed from Elite Engineering. If you need to know how to install that, you can watch the link above. If you have one installed, make sure you empty that out as well. So we've taken the truck down off of the ramps and we're gonna check the oil level now. The dipstick is located right off to the right side or the driver's side of the motor. And since we just ran the motor to lower it down off of the ramps, we're gonna wipe it off and then reinsert it. And you wanna make sure the vehicle has a couple minutes to sit so that the oil all drains back down into the pan. So looking at my oil dipstick, you can see that the oil level is marked out in this hash mark area. If you're at the low end, you can add 1 quart to get all the way up to full. And ideally, you just wanna make sure you're somewhere in this range. That's a safe operating range for your motor. As you can see, we're right in the middle, so we have enough oil in here. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. As you can see, this is very quick and simple.
This is how you change the oil on our 2004 and 2014 Silverados.
If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Any other videos that you'd like to see on either of these generation trucks, let us know. And if you're not subscribed already, please give us a big like and hit that subscribe button.
Thanks for watching.
See you guys next time.